remembering this important time in a number of different ways. Around the sanctuary, you see flags. These represent the different countries where people from our congregation originate from. And we have hung 2 new flags up this month, Kenya and the Netherlands. And so we are going to invite people from those places up here to read our theme verse. Leah Menko, who was born in the Netherlands, come on up, Leah. And Jeff and Esther Kamoli, who are from Kenya. And they are each going to read our theme verse from Psalm 89. Put the verse up there, Brian. And Leah is going to read it in Dutch. And then Jeff and Esther will read it in Swahili. And then we are all going to read it in whatever language you want. So, Leah, why don't you step up to the mic and read, and then Jeff and Esther.
Van de gunstbewijzen des Heeren wil ik altijd zingen. Van geslacht tot geslacht zal ik van uw trouw met mijn mond verkondigen. Psalm 89.
Fadhili za Bwana nitaziimba milele, kwa kinywa changu nitavijulisha vizazi vyote uaminifu wako.
Let's all read together. I will sing the Lord's great love forever. With my mouth I will make your faithfulness known through all generations. Thank you so much. Whatever language, the good news is the same. We chose this verse from Psalm 89 because it talks about the generations. And we are fortunate in our congregation to have people who have been here for a number of generations. And so we've asked one of those, Ron Lindberg, to come on up. And Ron's going to share just a few reflections of his time here at Faith. Ron, how long have you been a part of Faith?
My whole life.
About 50 years? 75, okay, thank you.
I was born, as I said, into this church in 1939, the year we celebrated our 25th anniversary, although I didn't know about that at that time. Some of the things I remember from my years in the church is when I was young, Sunday school classes were separated, boys from girls. We had boys Sunday school classes, girls Sunday school classes, and as I recall, we had adult male men's classes and women's classes. And there was a Swedish language service in the chapel at those times. So my father, who was from Sweden, they used to attend that quite regularly. Men of the church held a boys' brigade, Christian Service Brigade, in my local school. And the women of the church held a boys and girls Bible club in that same school. I remember that going to Portage Lake Covenant Bible Camp each week in the summer was a highlight, and here again we had junior boys or intermediate boys, we had boys camps and separate girls camps. I was confirmed when I was 13 under Pastor Dahlstrom. While I was in high school, the church created high leagues, junior high league and senior high league. And I remember one event that we had at that time, we had, the counselors had decided to go bowling on a Sunday afternoon. And this caused quite a concern in the church. Yeah. We often held singspirations in the homes of various members of the church after the Sunday evening service. Everyone in our church would attend the annual Sunday school picnics, which were held in local parks in those days. And the Sunday School Christmas program was anticipated by the young kids, especially because they received a box of Sanders candy after the end of the program. And I remember when I was young, my brother, who was about 12, 13 years younger than I, played the part of the infant Jesus in the Christmas pageant, Sunday School Christmas pageant, when he was less than 2 months old. In 1951, our congregation decided to create a daughter church in Dearborn, which is the Dearborn Covenant Church. And my sister-in-law started attending Sunday school there. My brother and she met in those years, and they're still members of the Dearborn Covenant Church. I remember church basketball teams and baseball teams, and winter weekends at Camp Barracuda and Mile Mountain. And I remember men's fishing trips. I started singing in the chancel choir while I was in high school, and I'm still pleased to be a member of that organization. In 1957, our church moved from Dexter and Davison to 8 Mile and Telegraph and called Edward Clemens to be our pastor. We bought a church bus at that time to pick up the kids to bring them to Sunday school. And at that time, that church, we had Sunday school classes in the church basement, which we had accordion folding doors to separate the various classes, and also at the back of the sanctuary, our overflow area for the adult classes. We only had 2 actual classrooms at that time for our preschool kids. In in the mid-70s, we started having our annual Sunday school picnics on the church grounds. In those days, I was Sunday school superintendent, so that was part of my responsibility. And in 1973, I think we checked dates with Mike. We called Mike Helene to be our senior pastor. And Mike was the first to start small group ministries in our church. I remember him holding a small group in our neighborhood, in our home, in the homes of various members, and training us to be leaders for small groups. During that time, my mother and Laura Mae Rohrback were the first women to serve communion in our church. They were part of the deaconess board, which prepared communion, and the deacon board, which was all male, served communion. And during those days, those 2 were merged into one board, the Board of Deacons. In 1976 or thereabout, our congregation decided to move to the suburbs, and after deciding to move to this location at 14 Mile and Drake, we sold our church to the Youth for Christ Ministries. And by the way, we sold it with the organ, which was built into that church, and since they didn't need it for their ministries, we bought it back and installed it in our church. So this organ is from 1957. During that time period, we had backyard Bible schools in various members' homes in the communities surrounding the church. And while we waited for our church building to be completed after moving out from the 8 Mile location, we had morning worship and Sunday school in North Farmington High School. And again, I was Sunday school superintendent, and we had quite a challenge to get the materials set up and put away each week. And our youth pastor at that time, Dave Rose, built some boxes, storage boxes that we could lock that had wheels on them, that we moved the stuff in and out of the closet for the North Farmington auditorium out to various classrooms. And then about 1979, 1980, I don't remember exactly the date we moved into this church location. 1980? Okay, thank you. And thank you. My wife and I, by the way, in the 8 Mile Church, most of our wedding receptions were held in the church basement, along with mine and Jan's. And Jan and I feel very fortunate that we've been blessed to be a member of this congregation. I thank you.